Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Golden Sun. In the last part, we finished the Mercury Tower, learning that we should probably stop Sadros and the gang from doing their other goals, aside from just kidnapping our friends, so yeah. Now as you can see here, I did buy some stuff off screen, Emil. I bought 3 Adepts, clothes for everyone, and I bought the Weapon Shop's artifact, Blessed Ankh for Mia. That's about it. I also sold some stuff off screen. Now here at the Biblin, barricade, you're gonna want to use a move on this tree so that you can grab it with your hands. Why? Well, we'll get an item for doing this soon. However, you can only do this now. So I recommend, well, doing that now. And now we can use that Hermes water we got last part on Tret, finally, to heal this guy and end off this plotline. Where is it? There it is. Is this a good thing? Apparently it is, and he's alive! With some really kick-ass music, too. And what's her face is here, too. And since he's recovered, the forest is back alive again. Laurel, that's her name. And we did have a favor to ask of you, Tret. So he's gonna finally return the people of Kolima, and thusly Biblin and the area surrounding Kolima, into humans. So thankfully no more tree people. Except for these two. Apparently Tret didn't always have these powers, but when strange gemstones started falling from the sky, and by that we mean Psynergy stones, stuff started going wrong. You really think Psynergy stones caused all this trouble? Apparently, when those gems fell on him, his fury was overwhelmed him and gained a will of its own, hence the boss fight we did a couple parts back. In fact, the Psynergy stones not only did that to him, but all the younger trees are safe, as you might notice, because, well, these two are taller, thus they were hit by them. But there were others that this happened to, apparently, which are the creatures. Hence the monsters spiel right now. Those monsters. Maybe they were just animals that were... The monsters were once just normal animals that the Psynergy stones transformed. Which means... we've been killing innocents. Oh, Laurel, you were given powers too? Laurel, what in the world are you doing? And he's not going to tell us right off the bat, so we're going to need to see what she's actually doing. Apparently she's now psychic. So even the animals are monsters now. And we need to cross a river that feeds their forest, so that's going to be a thing we have to do. And we got to head south across the river. So yeah. Now these guys, I forget if they're in Lost Age, but Tret and Laurel here do make a cameo in Dark Dawns, which is pretty cool. I forget if they're in Lost Age, I'd have to replay that. Anyway, yeah, now Kolima's healed, so we can finally use the shops here. So let's check out their weapon and armor shop. There's some decent stuff there. At least I think it's decent. Namely, I want to buy... give me a second to try to remember. A couple of bronze helms and a couple of armlets. Bronze helms for Garrett and Isaac, and the armlets for Ivan and Mia. And if you have the money, I suggest getting 1, maybe even 2, bronze axes. If you can only afford 1, like I'm only going to buy 1 because I still like the elven rapier for now, give it to Garrett. Or whoever doesn't have the elven rapier between Garrett and Isaac. Broad axe, that's the name. Bronze axe. That was close. It is more powerful than the Elven Rapier, but it's honestly just in my better interest to balance their attack stats. Now, you might have gotten a lot of game tickets by now. Don't worry, we'll use those later. Although, don't be surprised if you have more than like 2 stacks. And back at the Biblin barricade, these people are now here. This girl here, Jill, is the tree we rescued by pulling it. If you didn't rescue her when you were here, you would not only not get this item, but I believe she dies. I don't know, it's been years since I haven't done that. So we got a Harden Out, which is a defense-raising item, obviously, and we're going to use that on Ivan because he has the lowest defenses at the moment. And now we're going to head back to, Words. Biblin itself, so we can see Lord McCoy again. Yeah, we're the ones who broke the curse. Wait, what? We're under arrest. Ah, great. Final Fantasy VII all over again. Hello, Mr. Scotsman. He doesn't even remember our names. Great. He's Isaac, sir. And I'm Garrett. I'm called Ivan. And I'm Mia from the village of Emil. And yeah, you did decline our offer when we first met. And we went to do it despite his words. And he's gonna thank us for that, blah blah blah. He was a terrible lord, he's gonna have his usual learning arc. Blah blah blah. Because he relied on his own money, forgot his people needs. It's a general arc, really. But for doing this, we're going to get, a token of his gratitude. So let's say yes to that. And we can choose something that'll help us along our way. Who are the guards going to take us to? Now, the thing is, you get an item, however, like I just mentioned, you get to choose it. There's one of 4 chests. From left to right, they are a vial, which does 500 HP healing, a potion, which I forget what that does. I forget what the third one is, actually. But the fourth one's the one you really want, which is a Water of Life, which is not only the most expensive if you want to sell it, but it's also just the most useful because if you die, you'll have a revival ability. And we're always welcome here. So now what I actually have to do is head back to Kolima, because the easiest way to get us to where we now have to go is in that general direction. So let's head over there right about now. So now we just have to head east and follow the dirt road. You could actually head this direction earlier, but you'll get stopped because there's a drawbridge coming up, but the bridge is dropped from the opposite side of the river, and the guy here will be a tree, if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I tried to break sequence in this. And now we're on a new landmass, technically. And we're also in a new enemy domain, I believe. Including a new enemy right at the start, a mole. Moles have 96 HP, weak against fire, strong against wind. They don't have any good drops. I think they have a bramble seed or something, I'm not sure. Nothing too threatening, though. There are some other enemies you can run into around here, but I don't run into them for a while. And by the way, if you press R, you actually get a world map. I forgot to mention this earlier on. That's always just good to tell how far you are into the game in terms of progress. Anyway, welcome to Fuchin Temple? What? I'm joking. It's Fuchin, but I like fucking better. Now, this is technically a town, but it's also where you have a little optional area. I believe it's optional. You can investigate this jar first off, though, to get a unicorn ring, which, when equipped to someone or used as an item, will remove poison. So if you equip it, that character cannot be poisoned. So that's pretty good for Isaac, in my opinion. And now this guy here, if you try to talk to him, you just get ellipses of silence. What you have to do is use Mind Read from its shortcut. So that's a thing. And now we can speak into his mind. And yeah, he knew it was us. And he's asking if we followed them. I'm just going to assume them is Saturos and Minardi, so yeah. But we have to go through Mogal Forest, apparently, but the forest itself is a mystery. No ordinary man can pass from one side to the other. However, this guy could, so he's gonna give us some training. And we have to do some trials in a waterfall grotto. So we'll take the test, because I like optional areas. I believe it's optional. It's been a while. And we're permitted into the grotto. So yeah, now we can head over there. And if you talk to Krillin here, he'll allow us to enter. And welcome to Fuchin Falls Cave. Now, immediately right off the bat, the dragon's flame illuminates the path of truth in the darkness. This is a hint towards a later puzzle. And right over here, we got our first chest, which is a Mimic. Mimic number 2 has 506 HP, weak to fire, strong against the wind, can lower your defense, drain your psi energy, put you to sleep, and use Briar, which I believe is an attack spell that is something. I forget. And for beating him, we're going to get a game ticket. So this is not a very worthwhile Mimic, but I'm doing it for the experience points. Psi energy is usually your best way to go, as usual, so yeah. And on an off-screen level up, I got the next Earth ability for Isaac, which is pretty powerful. Ragnarok is still better in my opinion, but the new one's pretty good for crowd clearing. And the Blessed Ankh, which I got actually back in the artifact section of Emil's weapon shop, as I mentioned earlier, has that little attack there which seals an opponent's psi energy, meaning they can't really use any special attacks. Pretty good. And obviously, when you have a log on water, you walk on it like that, and you get something kind of out of out of Minish Cap. Now, I might have heard that cut in the music. That's because I got lost here for a bit, because I always forget what to do in these two rooms. Why? Because I always think I have to head north twice. Either way, we got our next new enemy, Bone Fighter. Bone Fighters have 122 HP, weak to earth, strong against water, can use an undead sword attack against you, which I think does some sort of status ailment, and they can drop sleep bombs, which is useful, I suppose. But yeah, I always forget I can go across here, and I forgot to read that dialogue. Oh well, you read it. So you know the hint for a later puzzle. By the way, you see those spikes there? That is a new hazard for this dungeon. Or that's introduced in this dungeon, at least. If you walk on them, you take some damage. I forget how much, but you take some. And now it's weird. Some of the guides, I do research on guides every now and then. For some reason, one of them missed this thing. I don't know why. But we got an Arctic Blade, which is a pretty good upgrade. And this is also the reason why I didn't buy another Broad Axe, because I would have gotten this immediately. It's a pretty decent weapon. It has that Blizzard attack, which is pretty good, especially against things weak against water. But overall, it's just a really decent weapon. I forget if it deals less damage towards Mercury-type enemies, though. Honestly, these spikes actually remind me a lot of Superstar Saga. Because the spikes that you could step on that were like in the first area and the last area looked a lot like that. And now you can roll across here. And over there you might notice we have a Djinn. So you can tell where we have to go. In fact, you actually have to head over there anyway, so you might as well face it. If you're ignoring it, you're doing a speed run. And this is another one that likes to fight us. This Jupiter Djinn, known as Zephyr, has 314 HP, weak against earth, strong against wind. Can use pretty much all the basic Jupiter elemental attacks: Flash Bolt, Plasma, Storm Ray, Wind Slash, Whirlwind. And as usual, they can escape, so watch out for that. Deal as much damage as you can in a short amount of time as you can. I recommend Ragnarok along with whatever strong attacks Garrett has. Mia and Ivan just have them physically attack. They're not going to be doing much overall anyway. Although a good impact every now and then from Ivan on someone might not help, might not hurt. Seriously, I love Ragnarok. I use this ability during the final boss. It's so good, and you learn so early. And we got a new ability for Garrett. And we got Zephyr to our team. What Zephyr does is that when you use him in battle, he will raise your party's agility. And that's pretty awesome. And now we roll up here and we enter the next room. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 12 we'll be continuing on in the Fuchin Falls cave to see what the heck that guy wanted us to find in here. See you guys then.